singing to calm himself down. Little self-lullaby. Doesn't seem to be working. Better sing more. Praise Jesus. Welcome back to another Sims 4 episode of the Sims 4 Llamas and Legends Legacy Challenge. Today we're here with Glad Dog and Forgotten. Forgotten just had a nightmare. Lots of nightmares from dreaming about having a nightmare. Forgotten is attracted to their host apparently. But they are in here. Forgotten is freaking out from his terrifyings. But they're here. They've been traveling because Forgotten wants to help find the queen to save his friend. And Glad Dog brought him here to one of his friend's houses. Glad Dog was like, I got a friend named Tiffany Tigress who's an architect in the city, so she'll let us crash at her place, and she did, and she is actively. Oh, that's perfect. That's just everything right there. This whole vibe. But very similar to Kocasta's problem, now that they're in the general area where the princess told them to go, they're not really sure where to go to from here, because Forgotten's surprised that a queen has just popped out of the framework. So things are turning out to be a little more difficult than he anticipated. But they're chatting, trying to figure out what their plan is. And they're actually going to come in here and get Tiffany's perspective. She's actually a lioness, but her name is Tigress. So Glad Dog and Tigress, and she's like, well, if you're looking for information, a good place to get information is always a tavern, and there's one right next door. So you could go there and see if anyone knows anything about this that you're talking about. And he's like, how did I not think of that? That's a perfect idea. Oh, Forgotten's hiding under the covers. He's really freaked out from his nightmares. Oh, he's in here practicing his singing now. Singing to calm himself down. Little self-lullaby. Doesn't seem to be working. Better sing more. Oh, okay, so they've traveled to the tavern next door, and he's gonna come check them in, and Forgotten's gonna have to check himself in, so let's go do that. We're checking in to see, and oh, what's that? A surprisingly familiar face? Oh, Forgotten doesn't know her, actually. And neither does Glad Dog, so never mind, it's not a familiar face. So they're eating a bite while they wait for more patrons. They're scoping out the room to see who might be here that knows some information. Forgotten is going to have a funny conversation with the tavern owner. And so Finu's come over here too. So Finu's like, don't I know you? Aren't you the guy who forgot his memory and the dwarf from next door to where I live? And he's like, oh yes, what are you doing here? And so now they're talking, and they're probably realizing that they're here for the same reasons. Oh, Glad Dog and Forgotten got a sentiment. I like that. They are good friends, Glad Dog and Forgotten. Oh, and he's met Sting as well. Hello. Sting does not seem impressed by him, honestly. He's just having fun chatting with people. Oh, and there's Kilcastus. So Finu pointed Kilcastus out to him, so he's gonna come. Glad Dog's gonna come talk to her. Gonna be like, hello. Tiana's in the way here, but gonna be like, I heard you had a mission to do, and she's like, yeah, that's right, but we can handle it on our own. He's like, well, we're hoping to save the queen as well, so we're here to help that some. She's like, I don't know about that. What is happening? Oh, he's doing that. That's what that squishy noise is. Glad Dog doesn't want to be talked out of a good adventure, so he's going to keep getting on Kilcastus, trying to get him to go in together. Forgotten's going to join in this conversation as well. He's just up here singing to himself in the restroom. They're not super getting along. Kilcastus does not really want the extra help because she wants to prove she can do this by herself. But Glad Dog is pretty aggressive. He wants to be a part of this too. So he's trying real hard to get her to team up with them, because he thinks it would be better. There's power in numbers, you know, and like, she's like, well, there's also power in not having to split the bill, not having to split the credit or the power, you know. I'm sure Forgotten is telling them about Helen. He's like, we gotta help our friends, you know. Our friend Helen and Fizzo are in there, and she's like, oh, I guess someone gotta get blamed for that. So Finu was almost blamed for that. That's why So Finu went away. Where is Sophinyu, speaking of which? So Cocastus is not really sure what she thinks about the situation, but they're gonna see if they can't convince her to let her join. Oh, so Glad Dog's come up here to try to talk to Sophinyu. This is a very interesting seating arrangement. Oh, so Finyu's not about it. She's like, we're just doing whatever Cocastus wants. This is Cocastus's thing. Oh, there is a goblin here. Goblin here making havoc. Well, you might need to handle him. I think so Finyu walked in on Forgotten in the restroom. Oh, there we go. Now there's a fight happening. Oh, so Finyu's witnessed. Oh, and he beat him up. Oh, evil. No, not right now. It's the other guy that's evil. But anyway, we finished with him. We're done with him. Gonna talk to the business owner like, hey, handled that for you. So now that we are in this position where our 4 heroes are off on their quest, I think it's time to see what's going on with the rest of the world. So in the dwarf household, Boran and his fiancée Edwilla were planning on getting married, and they had the fairy king and queen show up so that they could officiate the wedding, because you need fairy royalty to officiate a wedding for it to be official in this world. But there's some beef between fairies and dwarves, so even though they were invited, their arrival put Boran's brother Thurilium into a bad mood, and he decided that he didn't actually approve of Edwilla or this whole marriage, and he made a big stink about it to Boran, and he made Edwilla uncomfortable, and so they ended up leaving each other at the altar. They both decided in the middle of the wedding that they didn't actually want to get married. They did want to get married, but it was sort of circumstances pushing them apart, and neither one of them could overcome the circumstance, basically. So they're mad at each other, and they're mad at circumstances, but they are broken up now. They did not end up getting married. They're broken up. She went off, and Thurilium and Boran ended up getting the difficult family dynamic directly after the wedding was called off. So that was a big mess. Meanwhile, Amelia, frustrated at the fact that her healer, who's supposed to be working on her being on fire thing, is off on a journey instead of working on her cure, she went off to the romance festival, and she ended up meeting the father of the elf family that I can't remember right now, but he's like a renowned doctor. So she met him, and she started chatting with him, and meanwhile at the romance festival, Boran ended up getting soulmated with Disgraced Sue. And I think that that is definitely a rebound thing. I think because no one is really soulmates with Disgraced Sue. Everyone thinks they're soulmates with Disgraced Sue sometimes when they're in a low point, but they're not actually. So he started up a romance with Disgraced Sue, which I don't think that's going to go over very well. Meanwhile, at the Wasavalars, the elf family, Gilidhia was very upset and very angry because Erdazed confessed to her that he had been writing love poems to Sophinyu. So she was very upset about that, but they chatted and they talked it over. And Erdaze promised he was going to end it with Sophinyu as soon as Sophinyu came back from her journey. Gilidhia decided to let it go and be forgiving. So everything is alright with them for right now, but he still has to actually fulfill that promise, obviously, when Sophinyu comes back home, which I don't think Sophinyu's going to take that very well, because I think Sophinyu's the kind of person who gets her feelings hurt very easily and can be a little spiteful. She is a witch after all. But also, Winin snuck out of the house once again to the bonfire festival, where Verhias was rocking out on the guitar again. Obviously, I'm gonna have to get him a guitar because he apparently loves guitar. So I feel that for him, honestly. But while Winin was out at the festival, he met Madame Ka, and they chatted, and he got wind of a group of people that kind of sounded a little cultish, a little warlocky, shall we say. So So that is now on his radar. And also, their mother brought home from work a friend of hers that is a gargoyle that the whole family got to meet. Meanwhile, Helen and Fizzo have not actually been sent to prison. The king's daughters, the princesses, begged and begged him, and he finally decided instead of sending them to prison, he was going to keep them in the castle as forced servants. So they've been doing the cooking and the cleaning along with the other castle servants. And Helen has helped take care of baby princess Baobab. One thing fun to note is everyone seems to like Helen in the royal family. All three of the princesses had the want to become friends with Helen in their wants, just with one day of being there. And the king had multiple wants to have a chat with Helen. With Helen. So that was really cool. Helen is apparently just has that charm with people. And Fizzo and the Prince Ash seem to really get along. I wasn't even trying to have them interact that much, but they had like half a friendship thing. But I do want to take note of this particular moment where Prince Ash came and sat down next to her at the table, and then immediately got up and went into all the way to the opposite end of the table, and then immediately got up from there and went into a different room, and she showed him a video. And yeah, I think they have a weird kind of relationship right now. I think both of them are a little off their rocker, if you ask me. They also got to meet Erdazed, because Erdazed was working there as the royal librarian. But that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this episode. The playlist is in the description if you want to see the whole series. Jesus loves you. Goodbye.